points she had in the first 2 games. If she can even put up half of that in the second half, and put Western right back where they need to be.
Early hands it back to Erickson. Davidson in search of their 3rd finals appearance. They have never won the Southern Conference tournament. Western Carolina did win. They won it in 2004. Wildcats begin the half inside with Dukes.
Nice move by Dakota Dukes. I like the use of the left hand, deflecting the defender just a little bit and putting it up strong on that square with the right.
That's a blocking foul on Erickson.
Nice job by getting into the guts of the defense. Once again, that's part of the game plan for Western Carolina. Kristen Lyons drawing the foul.
That was part of what Karen Middleton talked about. It was more about capitalizing off turnovers, but take advantage of your opportunities. You've got to be aggressive and get to the line. Hit the shots when you have the chance to do it.
When they are a team that can put the ball on the floor well, when they find the seams in that defense, it creates so much more because of their good three-point shooting.
Here's McCabe now. Not only did Western win the tournament as a 6 seed in the 04-05 season, they also won a triple overtime thriller against the College of Charleston in 09, the last time they made it.
And I had the opportunity to be on that call, and what a great game that was. I don't think there was any more drama that could be created with last-second shots to tie up for overtime opportunities several times in a row before they could put it away.
And yeah, just think about it. It's win or go home, NCAA tournament on the line. It's the only way you're going to get there. Triple overtime.
And just flat-out exhaustion by all parties, coaches, players, and television crew.
Here's Wakema now. Double clutch, draws the foul. Davidson bailed her out a bit.
And Western's using this aspect of their offense a little better in the second half, and that is going to the basket, attack the rim. Worst case scenario is what we're seeing right now as they're getting to the free throw line.
Wakema didn't hit anything. She's a 77% free throw shooter.
I definitely think there's a fatigue factor involved with Wakema. She's been quiet. She had a lot of minutes in those first 2 games.
Senior now playing in her 121st career game, trying to keep that career going. Meanwhile, her trip to the line was the 3rd foul on Hannah early, so she went to the bench. Here's Hayden right in front of us, saving it back into a crowd, won by Davidson.
Western Carolina extending this defense, now challenging Davidson a little bit, using up some shot clock as well.
Joseph jumped right into the passing lane. Didn't have the number, so Western will reset.
Good decision by Joseph, reset it. Let's execute some offense. They execute their offense so quickly anyway, it doesn't matter.
There's Terry with the right hand, curling it over. And Western Carolina has brought this back to 8. Murray in a triple team. Savage wanted a timeout, but Murray, they're gonna give it to her, huh?
Yeah,
I thought the first call was that she was out of bounds first.
Looks like she got the whistle before the ball went out of bounds.
So we got a timeout for the Wildcats and a timeout on the floor here at the U.S. Cellular Center. Simple saying, all it takes is all you got. Those are the warm-up shirts for the Davidson Wildcats. All they got has been good enough this year. 10 times in the last 11 years now. Multiple or double-digit wins in league play. It is their third straight trip into the semifinals. Inside to Dukes. Here's Murray now with 7 on the shot clock. Laura Murray buries another.
Ball reversal around the horn to Murray, and even with a little bit of defense, it's not a problem for her.
Just outside the lane, the answer's there from Erica Joseph. If you missed the first half, there was a 3 or 4 minute stretch when these teams were exchanging threes. Up tempo, just raining them in on both ends of the floor. And really up and down the rosters too. There wasn't just one character getting involved. Here's Laura Murray, back to back.
And well back behind the arc. That was a good 3 feet, perhaps. There's a very faint NBA line out there. She was behind that line.
And now she gets into the passing lane. Back-to-back threes, now a steal and a 2.
This is where Laura Murray could take over a ball game. All of a sudden, it's her game, her energy level.
Largest lead of the day.
Western Carolina is going to need to get something going here offensively. Otherwise, we might see a quick timeout.
That one deflected. McCabe got a hand on it. Here comes Murray. Wakama trying to cool her. Dukes across the lane. And Long was fouled. Laura Murray was relatively quiet by her standards in the first half. She's got 8 points in the last 3 possessions.
There's just something about being in the mountains that inspires you to create, to explore new possibilities. And when you learn something that actually touches someone's life, you'll never be the same. Western Carolina University is a hub of innovation and a place to call home. I guess that's why they say your climb starts here.
The 2014 Socon Tennis Championships, April 16th through the 19th. Hosted by Chattanooga at the Champions Club in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Follow all of the action on Twitter using hashtag SoconTennis. Come see your favorite team in action as they compete for the championship. This is Socon Tennis.
License and registration, please. What's this?
It's my Geico Insurance ID card, sir. It's digital. Pretty cool, right?
Maybe. You know why I pulled you over today?
Because I'm a pig driving a convertible.
Tail lights out. Fix it.
Digital insurance ID cards. Just a click away with the Geico mobile app.
Team's leading scorer, Laura Murray, had 6 points in the first half. She has 8 points in the last 60 seconds. She can fill it up in a hurry.
She certainly can. Not only that, shooting 50% from the floor and 75% from the arc. I mean, we kept talking about the complete package of Taylor Hall. You're seeing another complete package player in Laura Murray.
Terry cleans up the miss. 14-point lead for Davidson, their largest. Wakama now from the elbow. That was similar to Murray's 3, drawing rain.
And for Wakama, a much-needed basket just to get in the rhythm of things.
Trailer there is Dukes for the answer. Last year, Davidson lost to Chattanooga and took them to the wire in that championship game. Gunning for a rematch if they can hold off Western Carolina here. Terry gets her own miss. Now it's Joseph on the offensive glass, and she'll put it home.
Nice finish by Joseph, high off the glass. She's going to be a player to build this program around for Western Carolina. Just a sophomore.
Third foul now on Wakima.
Team second. Taking the Wildcats, number 10, Hannah Early.
Both times they met this year. Pretty closely contested games. Here's Murray feeling it. Step back three, a little bit short.
And see when Murray comes off of those screens, especially high, there's a little bit of a curl cut. As soon as she receives the ball, though, she pulls it through so well, it makes the defense move, and that's when she has the opportunity to find some space.
If it's not Wakima that can key a run, it could very well be Taylor. She's got 8 now.
Just a junior, Justin Taylor, the Lewisburg transfer. She has lots of game experience, although this is her first year at Western Carolina.
Won a national championship. Junior college last year, was the MVP of that tournament. Now Wakima. Another offensive rebound. Western doing a great job of that the last few trips down the floor and taking advantage of it. It's Terry.
Strong move from Terry over Rachel Piles. Just taking her time with the ball on the block.
Early puts it on the deck this time and drives. The last touch by Piles.
The drive, not necessarily a strength of Early's. Obviously, she can't put the ball on the floor, but also obviously much more comfortable behind the arc. Still sitting on those 9 points she had in the early part of the game.
Thought Karen Middleton would use a timeout when Murray had scored 8 straight points. She didn't. Then she got the under 16. Turns out to be a nice move. 6 straight points for the Catamounts here.
Well, one of the things I've noticed about Karen Middleton and her coaching style, as the ball is deflected off of Justin Taylor's foot, is that Middleton's very similar to Tara Vanderveer in her presence, her poise. She doesn't get really hyped up about anything. She's talking to her team, very focused. Nice move to the inside, drawing the foul on Dakota Dukes.
2 on Dukes. Terry's working on a nice day. Had 11 points yesterday. She's got 10 points, 6 boards here today. Part of a core of seniors on this Western Carolina team. Talked a lot about Wakima. Of course, there's Terry, Lyon, Hayden as well. Now Dukes gets right around her.
Mackenzie Campbell again off the bench doing a great job on the defensive end of things.
Terry working on Hannah Early. Early's playing with 3 fouls. Had to be careful.
Terry showing her versatility, that time with the left hand.
Dangerous pass, it goes right to Terry.
Just when you thought the Catamounts might be looking to head back up the mountain, they have really clawed back into this ball game.
Just like the Western Carolina men in this building yesterday. Now it's Lane on the penetration. It'll stay on this end of the floor, but just 6 seconds on the shot clock. One whistle signified immediate timeout. It isn't.
We're at 12:06. They need to get under that 12-minute mark. But just 6 seconds on the shot clock.
She came wide open underneath. Did Justin Taylor, three-point try.
There's some energy from your junior college transfer. Not a lot of time, and she just slides along the baseline.
Now we do have a timeout on the floor. It's a 10-0 run for Western Carolina. Wasn't long ago, this was a 14-point game. It was a 14-point game about 3 minutes ago. Now it's 10 straight for Western Carolina.
And they've been able to do it with Terry on the inside, that ball hanging on the rim and then just drops down. And then the junior college transfer, Justin Taylor, strong underneath.
She's carried him in the first 2 rounds of this tournament. Into double figures for the 3rd straight game for Taylor.
Yesterday, perfect from the charity stripe. Today, hasn't knocked one down yet. And that's the reverse announcer's jinx.
She'll take it. It looked like Davidson was about to run Western Carolina out of the gym when Laura Murray got hot and scored 8 straight points. They haven't scored since. Erickson tries to go up high to Dukes.
Davidson with their starting lineup back on the floor. Look for Murray to try to put this team on her back. Try to carry them home.
There is something about Western Carolina and this building. Nice move by Terry, spinning her way in, bringing Western Carolina all the way back within 1.
Terry's been able to execute that move on several initiations and now finding her spot.
And getting it done defensively as well.
This second half, this Western Carolina team coming back out of the locker room looking like an entirely different squad.
Why not go back to Terry, the hot hand? She's fouled. It could be early. And it is. It's number 4 on early.
And that certainly is one way to slow down the offensive prowess of Hannah Early, is to have her take a seat on the bench. Out with her as well as Dakota Dukes. So 2 of the 3 bigs taking a seat.
Just barely beat the 5-second count. The freshman Piles now trying to check Terry. Allie Lane on the drive, lost it off her hip. And they'll keep it on this end.
They're giving it back. You see that Davidson now doubling on the inside. When Terry gets the ball, they're trying to double up on her. Force the ball back outside to those perimeter scorers.
Didn't double this time, working against the freshman Piles, who knocks it free. Second effort earns a trip to the line.
That foul on Erickson, diving down in to help. You see on the first opportunity, a clean block, but a little bit of contact there at the end. Putting Western with the opportunity to take the lead here.
There's the announcer jinx that it worked against you the last trip down.
I had reversed it.
Sitting on 14 points. That one stays in play. Davidson hasn't knocked down a field goal in 5 minutes. Their 14-point lead is down to 1. It'll be McCabe, and Campbell knocks it free.
Campbell has made her presence known on the defensive end on several trips.
Now the trailer is Campbell. Wakama keeps it alive, and she's fouled. How about the Hart 5'7" Wakama sealing off center.
Nice job by Campbell on one end of the floor with the block and the deflection out. And then off the miss, you have your point guard, the smallest player on the floor, fighting for the loose ball.
Free throws there for Wakama. And we're tied. First lead for Western Carolina since it was 5-3.
Of course, if you're Chattanooga, this is exactly the game you want these two teams to be in. Physical, back and forth event where emotion and energy are being expended.
And of the big three for the Wildcats, the three who average in double figures, only Laura Murray is on the floor. They go to her, she missed in the lane, then she's turned away by Terry. Unintentional hard foul in there. Wakama climbing the back of center with 9:55 to play.
A little bit of stagger there as she tried to get into perhaps block or box out and got tripped up. Ended up on top of the scorer, center, Shanika center.
It's 4 on Wakama. And even though Wakama isn't providing the usual scoring punch, during this run, she's been in the mix.
Well, you go back to the 50-50 balls, you go to the intangibles, some deflections, some steals, some rebounds, the hustle plays. She's been able to create for her team without being a scorer.
That free throw snapped a 15-0 run. Lane, center, gave her all sorts of daylight. An offensive rebound, put back for Terry.
Nice running rebound by Terry, coming from the free throw line to the basket on that miss.
Terry's got a new career high, 16 points and a double-double as well. And Davidson's missed their last 9 shots.
Early and Duke still on the bench for Davidson, the 2 of the big 3. As you mentioned, Laura Murray, the only one on the floor.
8 seconds to shoot. Terry attacks Piles. What a day for Terry.
A little contact at the end on the finish for Shannon Erickson. These are 2 teams battling for position here.
Foul on Campbell. Keep in mind, Davidson has only 2 timeouts remaining.
Mackenzie Campbell, her second, team fourth.
So Michelle Savage has to be pretty careful about when she tries to slow this Western run.
Well, and it's not out of hand. She'll have a media timeout coming up, the under 8. Laura Murray puts in the second. That's just a 2-point spread, so you want to hold those unless things start really getting out of hand. You're going to hang on to those till near the end. And very obviously, Karen Middleton likes to hold on to hers as well. At a point in time when you thought she'd call a timeout, she didn't. So she has 4 to use.
The last 3 Wildcat points have all come at the line. They've gone over 7 minutes without a basket. Justin Taylor. And it's Laura Murray who collapses down for the rebound, and there's a foul in there as well.
Over 45, Erica Joseph. Her second, team fifth.
Western Carolina trying to become the highest seed to ever make the women's championship game. They're a 7 seed. They were a 6 seed back in the 04-05 season.
Well, in our last regular season game, Wofford at Chattanooga, we had buy and sell. Would you buy that there was an upset? I said yes. And here we go. We might have a second upset.
Not if Laura Murray has anything to say about it. She's got the last 4 for Davidson. That's the first field goal they've hit in their last 10 tries.
Well, you know Murray's going to put this team on her back if she can.
Taylor gets long up in the air once again, floats it in.
Just when you think Taylor might pull up, she puts a little crossover, backs you back up, and then explodes past. Nice ball movement.
Taylor now has the assignment of Laura Murray. Laura Murray right back in Taylor's face.
Trading back and forth. It's a battle of wills right now.
Taylor rifles one over to Joseph. And Joseph gets her own miss. It's a tie-up. It'll be Western Carolina ball when we bring you back to UNC Asheville. The leading scorer in the tournament for Western Carolina, Justin Taylor, doing her part. The leading scorer for the Wildcats with the answer, 21 on the day. What a game in the second semifinal here at the Southern Conference Tournament. Robin Muller, Darren Goldwater, Nate Ross, the third member of our crew. Davidson had a 14-point lead, washed away with a 15-0 run. Taylor actually had 26 in the win yesterday. She could get there again today, though, if she keeps this going. Now she's got 16 on the day.
And Western Carolina switching their fortune in the second half, shooting well over 50% from the floor. Resting on Terry and Taylor.
Six seconds to shoot. Taylor right up on Murray. Has to give it up. It'll be McCabe. And center is fouled. This one's going against Simpson, even though she got the worst for it.
Simpson trying to fight around center. No go. And that's a great unselfish play by Laura Murray. I mean, she knew that she wasn't going to be able to get a shot off. You give it to another quality shooter, and then you look for opportunities to get that next possession with the rebound.
Inside center, down to Dukes. Has to circle her way back around and converts to tie the game.
Little finesse by Dukes, getting around the post play.
Wakema getting set to check back in for Western Carolina. Here's Terry. Murray blocked her. It stays with Western. They've got 9 to shoot. Taylor will gladly shoulder that load.
A floater by Taylor. How about Erica Joseph in the trap on the side, doesn't panic, just steps through it, is able to get the ball back out, and that leads to the Taylor bucket.
Here's center. She somehow gets right around Shauna Terry. The senior center has been a valuable piece for the Wildcats coming off the bench this year, giving them needed minutes, particularly with early and foul trouble. Back to the hot hand. Working around Murray. Missed the layup.
A little flat on that shot. Trying to find some space to the basket.
Dukes spins left, draws contact.
Foul number 25, Erica Joseph, her third, team 7. At the line, number 23.
So here's the All-Southern Conference performer, the sophomore Dukes. Back into the game early with 4 fouls. Also Wakema with 4 fouls. Pretty similar to Western's game yesterday, isn't it?
It certainly is. It was a back and forth affair. It came down to the final minutes and the final free throws by Taylor. Seeing much the same.
Wakema. Quick shot right off the bench.
Davidson might be able to extend it here with some good offensive execution and work on the glass.
Backdoor cut to Laura Murray, 23 now.
And there's that good offensive execution. Well-timed backdoor cut. They run that particular play with precision.
Her 16th 20-point game this season. Wakema puts it on the deck. It's Murray who got a hand on it. It stays. No, it goes over to Western Carolina. Goes over to Davidson. 3:20 to go. 4-point lead for the Wildcats.
The 2014 Southern Conference Baseball Championship, hosted by the Citadel in beautiful Charleston, South Carolina, at Joseph P. Riley Jr. Park. May 20th through the 25th. Watch free on Socon TV at soconsports.com. Watch the championship game live on ESPN3. Follow @Socon Sports on Twitter for live updates and results. This is Socon Baseball. Come see your favorite Socon golfers in action at the 2014 Southern Conference Women's Golf Championship. Returning to Moss Creek Golf Club in beautiful Hilton Head, South Carolina. April 13th through 15th. Make sure you follow the action on Twitter using #SoconWGolf. Don't miss the championship action. This is Southern Conference Women's Golf.
Nate Ross was just outside the Davidson huddle. Nate, what's going on over there?
Coach Savage looked at him and she said, ladies, you got to understand who's scoring for them. If you can help out on Shauna Terry and not leave your man exclusively, but you can help out, let's help out. We stop her, we stop them. Interesting strategy.
Both Shauna Terry and Justin Taylor have 18 points for Western Carolina. Catamounts have 19 offensive rebounds. That's led to 23 of their 61 points.
Those 19 offensive boards are huge when you're thinking about how they were able to chip back into this ball game.
Western trailed by 11 at the break, by as many as 14 in the second half. The lead stretched to 14 when Murray hit 2 threes and then had a steal and a breakaway, 8 points in the blink of an eye. But then came the biggest punch of the day from the Catamounts. They rattled off 15 in a row. And no surprise that it's Laura Murray who has settled things down a little bit for the Wildcats.
And this is dig deep time for Western Carolina. You're under 3 minutes left in the ball game. This is the third day in a row that you've played, but you've got to put all that aside. There's no such thing as fatigue when it's one and done.
Maybe a little bit of fatigue in those legs, though. You don't see her miss 2 free throws very often.
No, and she's been working very hard these last 2 games. I mean, talk about not leaving anything left in the tank. Laura Murray.
Wakama wants it on the inside. That is perfectly defended by Early. Stays on this end.
And a gamble by Early, having those 4 fouls. If that pass might have been a little bit higher, it could have drawn her 5th.
Wakama turns down the 3, gets around Erickson, missed the scoop. And it's Erickson who collects it.
And that foul, that's a technical foul on Justin Taylor. A little jawing with Laura Murray. That'll hurt you.
Especially now. 4-point game, 2.5 to go. Now Taylor will jaw a little bit. She's been doing it consistently.
Well, she's a highly emotional player, and I like what Karen Middleton did. She waved her over, had a conversation with her. Now let's talk about settling down a little bit.
3 straight misses for Murray. She's been in the game all but 35 seconds today. Wow.
I see a very cold whirlpool in Laura Murray's future should she go to the finals. Got to get those legs back under you for tomorrow's game.
Maybe it's the headband. She's tossed that aside.
Right, whatever it takes at this point in the ball game. So beyond picking up another personal foul, no harm done.
Erickson into the middle. Dukes couldn't pull the trigger. Early with the step back three. And an offensive rebound this time for the Wildcats. Now they can get the clock down to about 1:45.
It's a huge rebound by Shanika Center, an unsung senior hero.
Early will try another one. And another rebound for Terry.
Early's time on the bench had her go cold.
Simpson. And a foul on Western Carolina. That is the 10th. The Wildcats are into the double bonus.
Simpson pulling the trigger awful fast from behind the arc. In fact, Rena Wakama talking to her a little bit, saying we're only down 4 with a lot of time left. Let's not jack up threes until we are in a panic.
At the line, number 23, Dakota Dukes, shooting 2.
Davidson's just 10 of 16 at the line today. Part of that was Murray, who had missed the last 4.
Dakota Dukes, however, has been perfect.
And remains so. 8 straight points for the Wildcats. Western's got a pretty full complement of timeouts if they choose to use them. Good look for Campbell. 3 Wildcats hit the deck. And it's a jump ball. Now it does stay on this end.
A lot of bodies on the floor. If you want to know what you're playing for in terms of that opportunity to get to the next game, you're seeing it right here. Both these teams leaving it all out there.
You pointed it out before. Nothing pleases the Lady Mocs more than watching this game unfold. They await the winner.
As they are at a nice leisurely dinner and scouting report.
Laura Murray reads it and picks it. She's done it all throughout the year. She's done it all today.
Wisely, Laura Murray makes Western Carolina play chase. Shauna Terry having to foul her to stop the clock. And you can see the fatigue in Laura Murray.
She's gassed. Almost lets out a sigh of relief watching that one go through.
Right.
Murray matched a season high with 26 points yesterday. She now has 25 today. And Davidson takes its second to last timeout.
30-second timeout, Wildcats.
Western Carolina still with 4. You need to look for some quick scores and quick timeouts so you can set your defense. They're going to have to extend the floor a little bit with their defensive pressure should they be able to work that scenario. Shot, basket, and then timeout.
Half runs. Davidson went over 7 minutes without a field goal, watching Western put up 15 points unanswered. Then things settled down and the Wildcats have found a little bit of separation. Minute 14 to play in search of their 3rd consecutive trip. Lane at the free throw line. There's part 1, and here's part 2 with the timeout.
Just as I drew it up for you, Darren.
There's a reason you were in the coaching business.
It's Karen Middleton. We're going to see a press. Talking a little about a little bit of face guard, probably some help. What you don't want to do is give up anything easy. And very obviously, got to stop the clock again. So we're going to see some quick fouls here. She's going to make Davidson have to win it from the free throw line.
Possession arrow also favors Western Carolina. Both teams are in the bonus. Possession favors Davidson.
It's hard to see way over there.
I'll update the prescription on the glasses. Breaking free is Dukes. Can't give up the easy bucket. And they'll foul her.
I think that's the last person I would foul. Dukes, perfect from the free throw line. Terry thought that she might have been able to get there in time. Too much contact at the end.
4 fouls on Terry. There are a lot of good free throw shooters on the team. Early's 74%, Dukes 9th in the league. Murray right about 75%. It's just a matter of how much fatigue comes into play and pressure. Deep one for Lindsey Simpson. And an offensive rebound yet again for Terry. Good look for Wakama. 4-point game.
Wakama hitting him when she needs to. Was so quiet throughout the game in terms of the scoring column. I'd say for this Western Carolina team, you have to pick your individual team's impact player of the game. It has to be Terry. His second half, putting up shots, cleaning the boards, finding her scores.
She's got 18 points. That's a career high. She's 1 rebound off of matching a career high. You could expect that Justin Taylor would produce again. She's been hot all tournament.
We didn't see her in that earlier matchup with Davidson. She was out for several games due to a concussion. And obviously she is a difference maker in terms of the interior for this Western Carolina team.
Davidson only has 1 timeout left. We got a timeout from the bench.
Timeout quickly before the ball got in.
There was a question as to which came first, a 5-second violation or the timeout.
They're giving them the timeout.
Which means none left. So if Davidson finds themselves in a similar spot when they can't bring the ball in, they're gonna have to try and force something. We've got both men's semifinals for you on CSS. After this one, Western Carolina and Davidson on the men's side, same matchup. A rematch of a championship game from a couple years ago that was a double overtime thriller in this building, which Davidson won. And then Georgia Southern, the 7th seed, will get the 3rd-seeded Wofford Terriers at 8:30. Tomorrow, the winner of this game gets the Lady Mocs of Chattanooga in the championship game in the NCAA tournament berth on the line. Let's toss it over to Nate Ross.
Strategy is pretty simple for Western Carolina. Whatever they do, they have to do it very, very quickly. Steal it, great. If not, got a foul.
Nate, it worked for him on the last possession.
Just a basic game plan. Extend this almost 45 seconds as long as you can.
Laura Murray breaks deep. Baseball pass connects. Perfectly thrown pass, and it'll be Murray at the line.
Once again, Murray making them play chase. Right over the top, and that's the problem with face guarding is you leave that backside wide open. Some people put a rover in the back to prevent against those long passes. Western Carolina did not.
If Davidson survives, how much gas will be in the tank, not just for the team, but for Laura Murray? Misses a pair, it's loose, and Davidson comes away with a foul as well. Remember, they couldn't call timeout. Early was the one with possession, and it's Early to the line.
A foul, I believe, was on Campbell. Mackenzie Campbell in that scrum.
And it was 4 on her, but Davidson continues to leave points at the line.
Still a 2-possession ball game. You got some quick threes.
You got some very good three-point shooters out there also. They'll go inside, however. Terry's foul. It's 4 on Dukes.
That was a nice pass to the inside. And we've seen that Terry can go right or left, this time taking it with her left hand, trying to get over the top of Dukes and make up a couple points here at the free throw line.
53% free throw shooter is Terry, who's 0 for 5 today. Davidson has had their chances to put a decent amount of separation between them and Western. They haven't been able to hit their free throws down the stretch. Four-point game, 25.5 to play. It's Dukes going back to the line.
Foul number 20, Ally Lane. Her first.
Players taking their time getting down to that free throw line, conserving as much energy as possible in these last 23.5 seconds.
This wasn't the game that it felt like would be the result when we were 5 minutes into the half. Davidson had rattled off 8 straight points. It was a 14-point lead. All of the momentum was with the Wildcats, and it felt like the run for the 7 seed was going to come to an end. They had a lot more fight left in them.
And they've put together a great second half, late second half run.
More points left at the line, but another offensive rebound. Early dribbles out, burns another 3 or 4 seconds.
Just dribble away, dribble away. I used to run a drill, it was called 20 passes, and we would just keep playing keep away with the ball all the way up to half court, making people chase us.
Foul was on Terry. Senior put together one of her best career games.
A lot of emotion from this particular senior. That was a fantastic finish to her career for Shauna Terry.
Big free throw here would make it a 3-possession game. New career best for Terry with those 19. She tied a career high with 12 rebounds. Justin Taylor couldn't pull the trigger. Valuable seconds ticking off the clock. Rebound down to Laura Murray. Davidson will escape the upset bid from Western Carolina. Catamounts scored 15 straight to wipe out a 14-point deficit, but in the end, it was too much Laura Murray. Yet another 20-point game